Somewhere in Scotland's Highlands, a couple is on a camping trip. The woman presents the man with a silver letter opener as a peace offering for dragging him on this trip. Shortly after, the couple is warming up in the tent when something unzips the tent and grabs the woman. The woman soon gets eliminated, and the unseen assailants turn to the man, eliminating him as well. Cut back 2 hours into the North Wales woods. A soldier named Cooper is pursued by some men. He attacks one of them, but gets overwhelmed when the other assailants join, and he gets knocked to the ground. It turns out that it's a test assessment for the Special Forces unit Cooper is trying to join. But when Cooper refuses to shoot a dog in cold blood, his superior, Captain Ryan, fails him and sends him back to his unit. Captain Ryan doesn't stop there and shoots the dog, bringing out Cooper's inner dog lover and transforming him into a canine crusader on a mission to beat some sense into Captain Ryan. However, with a gun to his head, Cooper stands no chance. 4 weeks later, Cooper and 5 other British soldiers are dropped at a remote location in the Highlands of Scotland as part of a training exercise against a Special Air Service, or SAS, unit. Later that night, the troop sits around a bonfire sharing gruesome war stories when suddenly a dead cow falls from the sky. Elsewhere in the woods, Captain Ryan keeps an eye on the soldiers when some noises alert him. He's ready to take down whatever is approaching him and turns to face the thing, but he gets attacked. The following day, Cooper and his team investigate the flying cow mystery when they see a flare and decide to follow it, only to find the savaged remains of the SAS unit. The troop starts freaking out, but Sergeant Wells asks them to calm down and salvage all the weapons because they don't know what they're dealing with. Suddenly, Captain Ryan appears from behind the rocks before going into shock. Captain Ryan, sporting a deep chest wound, is recognized by Cooper, who attempts first aid. However, Ryan urgently pleads to be evacuated, cryptically hinting that their assailant is far more sinister than part of any exercise. The troop tries to call for help, but discovers all radios are damaged. Left with no option, they assist Captain Ryan and begin their escape from the woods. Their terror escalates as the unseen attackers chase them. In the retreat, one soldier, Bruce, is fatally impaled by a tree branch. Meanwhile, Sergeant Wells gets attacked by something that uses its razor-sharp claws to gut him, spilling his intestines out. Cooper arrives in time to save Sergeant Wells and shoots the assailant. He quickly stuffs Sergeant Wells' guts back in and helps him to safety. Shooting at their pursuers, they spot a Land Rover approaching. They rush to stop it. The woman driving stops, narrowly escaping something trying to enter the vehicle, and they all make it out of there. The woman takes them to a farmhouse that belongs to her friends. But when no one answers the door, Cooper goes inside to ensure it's safe to enter and finds a border collie named Sam. While some soldiers tend to Sergeant Wells' wound, others grab food. Cooper worries about Wells' urgent need for medical help. They ask the woman about the nearest town as they plan to drive there. However, upon reaching the Land Rover, they discover it's been wrecked by their pursuers. Spotting them near the house, they're forced to retreat inside. They have no choice but to secure the home from the inside so whatever is outside can't enter. The woman, who introduces herself as Megan, a zoologist, tells Cooper the things they're fighting are werewolves. Sergeant Wells' condition isn't good, so Megan and Cooper take him into the bedroom to disinfect the wound. Cooper has to knock him out to relieve him of his pain while Megan superglues his wound. After they're done, Cooper gathers Bruce, Spoon, Joe, and Terry to reveal they're battling werewolves. Suspicious of Captain Ryan's rapid recovery, Cooper confronts him, demanding to see his wound. Ryan reacts by pulling a gun, but Cooper and the team overpower him and check his injury, stunned to find it nearly healed. The team restrains Captain Ryan for interrogation when suddenly the lights go out. The werewolves have cut off the generator and encircled the house. Bracing for battle, the soldiers ready themselves. As the werewolves attempt to invade, a relentless shootout ensues, dragging on for what seems an eternity. Just when everything seems to have calmed down, the werewolves abduct Terry. Megan proposes waiting for sunrise, but the soldiers plan an escape with Sergeant Wells worsening and depleting ammunition. Megan reveals another Land Rover is in the garage. Spoon distracts the werewolf as Joe retrieves the car. A werewolf spots Spoon and chases him, but Megan snaps several close-up photos of the werewolf on her camera, blinding it with the flash. Meanwhile, Joe reaches the garage and hotwires the ignition when he sees a werewolf devouring Terry. It rips off Terry's head and throws it onto the windshield to create a bloody mess, but Joe prioritizes safety and breaks out of the garage. He brings the Land Rover to the house's entrance, and as he's waiting, he gets a feeling he's being watched, and as suspected, he realizes a werewolf is lurking in the back seat. Joe decides to put up a fight but gets eliminated immediately. The soldiers are shocked to see a werewolf feasting on Joe as they open the car's door. It attacks them, but Megan uses the gun Cooper gave her and empties it, firing at the werewolf. Cooper gets restless after losing another comrade and interrogates Captain Ryan, compelling him to spill the beans. Captain Ryan finally gives in and tells them about the Special Weapons Division, who hired him to catch a live werewolf and bring it back to them for testing and probably weaponizing it. But he didn't expect there would be more than one werewolf. He further reveals that Cooper and the team were just baits and expendable. Hearing this enrages Cooper and Sergeant Wells, and they attempt to eliminate Captain Ryan, but to their surprise, Captain Ryan transforms into a werewolf. He attacks them, and the soldiers use anything they can as weapons to attack back. Megan sticks to taking more candid shots, and with their efforts, they force it to escape. This event leads the soldiers to believe that the werewolves used to be humans. Since the Uath family are the only humans around, the soldiers figure out that the Uath family must be the werewolves attacking them for entering their house. Using their knowledge about werewolves from the movies, the soldiers collect all the silverware from the house to use as weapons. Megan points out that the wolf pack sticks together in a place close to its food supply. She suspects they're hiding in the barn. So the soldiers decide to blow up the barn using a makeshift bomb. Sergeant Wells talks to Cooper and shows him his wounds, which have healed. He fears he'll soon become a werewolf, just like Captain Ryan did, and asks him to escape while there's still time, but Cooper isn't ready to give up on him. They load the Land Rover with gas cylinders and slash the gas pipes. Cooper drives the car and gets out of it before it reaches the barn, and Sergeant Wells lights it up, leading to an explosion that destroys the barn. Before they can celebrate, Megan apologizes to Cooper and reveals there were no werewolves in the barn and she's a part of the Uath family, hence a werewolf like them. She wasn't in the family pictures because she was the one who took them. No wonder she's obsessed with the camera. She states that she has unlocked the house's back door, allowing the werewolves to get in, and suddenly starts transforming into a werewolf. But before she can fully transform, Sergeant Wells shoots her in the head. The werewolves are already inside the house, making the remaining soldiers run. Sergeant Wells and Cooper run upstairs while Spoon runs into the kitchen, where a werewolf follows him. After he runs out of ammunition, Spoon uses MMA skills and things lying around to his advantage and succeeds until another werewolf intervenes. Before being devoured, Spoon wishes the werewolves get diarrhea after eating him. Meanwhile, Sergeant Wells hides in a closet and keeps a werewolf from entering, while Cooper hides in the bathroom and fights another werewolf. Cooper quickly makes his way into a closet and escapes by digging a hole in the wall for them to escape into an adjacent bedroom. Once in the bedroom, they hide in the closet full of bones. Sergeant Wells uses a gun to put a hole in the floor, tumbling into the kitchen where they find Spoon's remains. There, they find a cellar, and Sergeant Wells, beginning his transformation into a werewolf, insists Cooper enter alone. He hands Cooper the photograph roll used by Megan in the flash camera to stun the werewolves. Reluctantly, Cooper descends into the cellar with Sam. Meanwhile, Sergeant Wells cuts the gas pipeline and waits for the werewolves to show up. As soon as they do, he lights up the gas, causing the house to blow up, wiping out the werewolves and sacrificing himself. At the break of dawn, Cooper tries to leave but is confronted with Werewolf Ryan, who attacks him. Cooper almost gets impaled, but Sam attacks the werewolf, saving Cooper. While Sam distracts the werewolf, Cooper stumbles upon the silver letter opener. He uses it to stab the werewolf in the chest, which weakens it. Cooper takes the opportunity to grab his gun and shoot the werewolf in his head, thus eliminating him. When it's finally over, Cooper walks out with Sam into the daylight and looks back one last time at the nightmare he endured. Later, Cooper's story and photographs of the werewolves made it to the tabloid under the title "Werewolves Ate My Platoon," unfortunately printed under the England vs. Germany match results. That was a recap of today's horror dose of Dog Soldiers. If your idea of a good time involves werewolves, ghouls, demons, and a buffet of horror delights, smash that subscribe button to dodge a werewolf's bite. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to ensure you never miss out on our spine-tingling horror movie recaps.